Hello everyone and welcome to a new segment, Tech Talk with Paddock Chats with RS. So I've introduced this new segment to talk about some important technical aspects of the 2023 season. Probably one of my most favorite highlights of this entire season has been how Ferrari has been so consistent and dominant on Saturdays during qualifying, getting those poles. And Red Bull, or should I say Max Verstappen, has been swooping in and getting those race wins on Sundays. So let's dive in. What is Ferrari doing to make them so consistent in qualifying? But what is Red Bull doing better to ensure that they get those race wins on Sundays where it really matters? An important part of the car itself is the braking system. We've heard so much about braking systems when we watch F1. The commentators always talk about how whoever brakes the latest in a corner gets the upper hand and also is the better, more dominant car. So today I'm going to be talking specifically about the braking systems of the car. Now coming back to our season highlight. An important distinguishing factor between Ferrari and Red Bull is their braking systems. Now, braking systems can help us analyze and understand how heat flows through the car and how temperature is also controlled through the car. Specifically speaking, Ferrari uses something called the Brembo disc braking system, and Red Bull uses something called the carbon disc braking systems. Now, these two braking systems have been split throughout the grid. That means half the teams are using one and half the teams are using the other. Now, how is Brembo better? What is it doing to help Ferrari get those poles? As we saw in the slide pods or side pods episode, heat control and temperature throughout the car is really important, both for safety and for efficiency. Now, it is a bit confusing because as the car goes faster, the engine does get hotter and the heat is transferred throughout the car. But at the same time, it is necessary for a fast car to have good cooling systems. And this is where Brembo comes into use. Now, the Brembo disc braking system has greater cooling holes. It has more number of holes in the brake itself. Now, this means there is lesser material and there are more holes, and so the airflow is much better throughout the brake. This also helps the car pick up speed and it also helps them slow down really quickly. Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. Now, since the Brembo disc brake has so many holes, it also has lesser material, which also makes the car lighter. Now, a lighter car goes faster, but at the same time, when the car is lighter and it has lesser material, this also means that it takes lesser time for the car entirely to heat up. But at the same time, we have to look at the pros and cons. And this is why it is so important and F1 engineers try to create the perfect balance between safety and efficiency. What exactly is Ferrari doing to adapt to different situations? So what Ferrari is doing is in each race based on the temperature, they're increasing and decreasing the number of cooling holes in the brake itself. So when you take hotter races like Mexico, Singapore, you have more number of holes in the brake itself. So this allows the air to flow really fast and it allows the car to cool down faster as well. Now let's talk about Red Bull. Clearly they are doing something right with their braking system and their overall car. They use the carbon brakes and those brakes are also specifically designed for operating at very high minimum temperatures. So this makes it much easier for them to brake at a faster speed. And hence late braking is always a great option for Red Bull. So this was about braking systems. Obviously, braking is really important, but it's a really small part of the entire F1 car. So over the course of this segment, we are going to be looking at important factors such as aerodynamics and more systems and talk about the scientific effect of this and how it can make or break a world championship. There's going to be much more on this segment, so thank you for watching and stay tuned.